So today we have another round of... Hey, what's up guys, Riv here. So today we have another round of game journalists acting like complete morons. And when it comes to that sort of thing, where else do you begin other than Kotaku, who is fighting for every last bit of relevancy they...
Wow. I'm kind of... I don't want to cover up Rev, but I should probably get out of the way of the graph. Hang on. I don't want to cover Rev, but you should see this. Okay. Look at that. Oh, that's bad. It's bad stock.
Can get. People aren't even hate clicking on Kotaku articles these days, and they can thank people like Alyssa, who's one of their editors. This is a person who has been on a quest to piss off as much of their potential audience as possible through tweets and other things like that. In fact, she's at the point where there is a whole compilation.
Okay, let's see what she said here. So this one, I think I mentioned. Hi, you can't be racist against white people. Thanks for tuning in. So she is racist against white people. Racism about, this is someone else. Or is this her? I can't tell. Yeah, this is her. Racism about systems of power, therefore you cannot be racist against white people. The dominant group that maintains and rules almost all power systems in the Western world, period. And I know she's been content flagged on all this every single time.
Of her being racist, and on top of that, threatening violence against people who she deems terrible online. Well, now she has taken it to the next step with this right here. So this clip online. Well, now she has taken it to...
I maintain that most people who are shitty, aggressive, racist, sexist, otherwise terrible online have yet to get their asses beat IRL, and they should. Remember that. Oh yeah. Oh, she's blocked so many people.
The next step with this right here. So this clip has been making the rounds on Twitter, where Alyssa directly confronts all of her haters and says that she will fight anyone. She opens up a challenge that clearly we know she's not going to actually follow through on.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people, and maybe say it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe say we don't want you around if you're going to be a cunt.
Yeah.
Okay, Alyssa, we don't want you around if you're gonna be a cunt. You gonna go away now?
And hateful. And that the games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone's making them be diverse. Because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, this one and all the rest. I'm listening to all of her soy cuck seals clapping behind her. Just clapping away behind her. Because they're all cucked. And yes, she has a very punchable face. And I think she knows it. That's probably why she won't get into the ring with someone, because they know they're gonna just go to town on punching her in the face.
And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
There you go. That's what I was telling you about. Anybody taking you up on that? No, because they're all pussies. You literally said it 5 seconds ago, you stupid bitch. You said it 5 seconds ago for the first time ever. But of course, her little enablers are like, anybody taking you up on that? Fuck you.
Yeah, you can see the exact moment where she got a little too carried away at the end.
She just runs away. Yeah, exactly. Waldeer, you're exactly right, and that's exactly what she's been doing. I'm guessing Rev may actually bring up the tweet thread here. Veer took her up in the challenge. She said, let's do it. And she came up with every excuse in the world not to do it. Funny, Kiki. Actually, I should move you guys. You guys probably... let's move you guys. Yeah. You guys here. Might be hard to see because you're going to be in Rev's hair, but we'll just have to work with it. Sorry. It's a very busy screen at the moment.
And now she has transitioned from just an internet tough guy to something that could translate into real life. She is opening up a real life challenge for people to cash in on. And people like the YouTuber Vera Dark have said, okay, with this tweet saying, can't hit up this little bitch who's hiding behind a block, so send me a DM and let's talk match detail. And you know what? She's within her right to do this. She opened up a challenge and Vera is taking it. However, I think you all know how this is going. So behind a block, Alyssa would post a bunch of screenshots and go back and forth. And her only real response to anything was correcting her grammar and then saying no prize money, charity only. You can't stream it for your bigot viewers, which obviously is a term that no one would accept.
And again, throwing out a word that's lost all its meaning. Word that's lost all of its meaning.
Trying to wiggle out of this whole thing by saying that she can't stream the match. Why would you do it? Like, why would anyone want this to happen if they can't see it? That's the whole point. This is a public event, a public spectacle. People want to see you fight someone and really go up against the challenge you created for yourself. So, of course, people want to see it. So if you're not going to allow people to see it, nobody wants this thing to happen in the first place. And also, it seems like you're just afraid of being beaten up with a live stream.
Which is really funny because Alyssa has posted numerous shots of her in her underwear, posing like she's tough and she's works out. And I will say, from the video, the pictures I've seen posted, she seems to be in decent shape. So she exercises and stays in decent shape. She's tatted up to shit. Vera, honestly, I don't know why she would be running, because I don't know much about Vera outside of a couple of her videos that I've seen on YouTube. I don't know if Vera is as physically fit as her or not. So it kind of begs the question, why is she so scared to take up the challenge with her? And my guess is that after she made that really bad statement on that stream, is the managers behind the scenes had an oh shit moment and went, oh shit, she just stepped in it big time and this is going to come back to bite us in the ass. And they probably told her, you will under no circumstances accept a fight with anybody that takes you up on this challenge, because it's going to put us into a world of hurt if you do that for some reason. That's my guess, is somewhere in the back end, in the management section, they went, you did this without our permission. You didn't give us any heads up on this. We're not going to let you do this, maybe because of insurance reasons or something. That's my guess.
Recording all of it, but anyways, she wasn't the only one challenging Alyssa. This individual right here is apparently a multiple-time judo champion and also someone who's in the military and has served multiple tours overseas. This person has challenged Alyssa. Now, strangely, Alyssa has not responded to this woman in any sort of a way. I can't imagine why. She seems a lot more quiet about this one, and again, she did this to herself by opening up this challenge, and now anyone can cash in on it, and if she refuses, she looks like a coward. But moving forward, I'm kind of...
Well, she doesn't look like a coward. She is a coward. She is 100% a coward. And all she's doing now is proving it.
Surprised she has any room left in her head for someone other than Smash JT. She has been quite attentive to this man over the past couple of weeks. She's been very upset that he made multiple YouTube videos criticizing her, and in response, she would reach out to this man's wife through Facebook, which is obviously quite...
And this is not the first time this sociopath has doxed people. Anyway, Funny Way Facebook asked what she thinks about the husband of her children harassing women online and laughing when they share that someone they're supporting has been threatening to kill them for weeks. What the fuck? And she was also trying to dox Melody Mac too, who's another content creator on YouTube. She basically put out a net saying, hey, if you've got any dirt on Melody Mac, I want you to hit me up so I can basically write a hit piece article about her. So, like, she's known for trying to dox people.
unhinged. And on top of that, her friends in the industry would report his personal website and get it taken down. Where down in that same thread, she would say that she's pursuing legal action against Smash JT, which is really strange. It's like, what are you suing for? Like, no, really,
Yeah.
what are your damages that you're hoping to collect through the court system? Like, it's such a juvenile way of looking at how courts work. Like, all the time on Twitter, I see
Granted, this means nothing. Like, this is basically, amusingly enough, this is the spoiled white girl response to anything that offends them. I'm going to take you to court because you offended me. So nothing's gonna come of it. And honestly, he's got more of a reason to he's got more of a reason to maybe file a defamation lawsuit against her. That's the funny part. People have got more. People has a better taste to sue her for defamation based on everything that she said, and God only knows what she's putting in her fucking articles. But this is the typical spoiled white girl response for just about anything. Is I'm gonna sue you.
people say, hey, that person said a bad tweet about you or slandered you. You should sue them. Well, should versus could is a big difference. Could I sue people like that? Sure. Should I? No, because why would you go through tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of court costs to sue someone over what? Like, what damages are you trying to collect? Twitter is not a real place. The things people say on Twitter, they might make you angry, they might be stupid, but you're not actually like suffering in some sort of a tangible way that you can collect through compensatory damages, okay? So in this case, I'm asking Alyssa, what harms have you suffered as a result of Smash JT's videos or things he's posted on Twitter? What are your actual harms? The only two things I could guess she's trying to sue for or thinks she can sue for is either defamation or harassment. And to prove those, she needs to show that she actually suffered something. Otherwise, she's just going to get a nominal award, which basically means the court awards her $1 and just says, yeah, you were harassed or whatever, you're right, but you didn't suffer any damages, so we're just letting you know you won, but we're not giving you anything. And that's really what would happen in any of these cases.
And taking up valuable court time for actual cases that need to be heard because they are an actual issue, not because you got your fifis hurt.
Best case scenario for her. And when you think about harassment, show us, like, what were the damages? Are you like in therapy because of this guy or something? Like, obviously not. And in terms of defamation, like, has he said something intentionally wrong that like actually caused you harm? Like, did you lose your job at Kotaku or lose future employment opportunities because of the things he's saying, or you're somehow distressed? I think it's the exact opposite. It seems like the only thing you're getting out of this is attention and you like it. So I don't think you should waste your time with the court system over this petty matter. Like, it's ridiculous. But now we're going to switch things up and talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. We talked about this game multiple times on the channel, beginning with the choice of the main characters for this game that's supposed to take place in feudal Japan. And on top of that, game journals have been rallying behind this game and their choice of main characters, even saying things like basically Asians have enough representation in the realm of the samurai, which is absolutely ridiculous. And on top of that, we've seen some quotes coming from the developers that have raised a lot of eyebrows, like this one saying, we were first looking for our samurai, someone who could be our non-Japanese eyes though, which is a strange thing to say. And on top of that, now a lot of people are looking at some of the gameplay footage that is coming out for this game, and this one in particular, a lot of people are laughing at on Twitter. So here's the caption saying, Assassin's Creed Shadows combat seems very Ghost of...
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, is Yatsuki, his quote-unquote legend is very nebulous. And there's actually been a war on Wikipedia now, with multiple people, including, I think, Ubisoft, constantly making changes to the entry about Yatsuki. And I mean, let's be honest. Ubisoft chose to put Yatsuki in the male role of the new Assassin's Creed movie because of his skin color. Let's not pretend it was anything other than that. And I've mentioned this before. The whole concept, they could have had Yatsuke in the game. I'm not saying that. In fact, this would have been. I can think of a really great way for them to put him in, but not as one of the two-player choices in feudal Japan. The whole concept behind Assassin's Creed that made it fun is you were playing a made-up character in each of these Assassin's Creed games, but you were interacting with actual historical figures, which is what made it cool and fun. The one that I always come back to is Assassin's Creed 3, because you were during a time of the Revolutionary War at its pitch, and you actually interacted with actual historical figures. You interacted with George Washington. You interacted with Benjamin Franklin. You actually were doing quests for these guys. You were actually engaging in the war against the British. That's what made it interesting, is you felt like you were actually being a part of history. You were a historical figure, but you felt like you're actually able to engage in history, like actual history. With Yatsuke, yes, Johnny, he was considered retainer. Whether or not that made him a combatant or a potential combatant is up for debate that I'm not going to get into. But Assassin's Creed Shadows had the potential here with this to actually put Yatsuke into the game in a way that would have been very interesting. So instead of Yatsuke being the samurai that you could take, that was one of your two choices. Either you could be a woman, or you could be the Black Samurai. Those are your two choices in feudal Japan. And nobody's saying that, curiously enough, with all the, you hate women in games, I have not heard any problem with anybody choosing Noe as the female assassin. I've heard no issues. And there isn't. I don't think there is an issue. I think that's good that, you can have Noe as the female ninja, because she's light-footed and quick and silent. Good. I think that makes perfect sense. For the samurai, why not have someone who's Asian? Have someone that is not considered a historical figure being the male samurai. Because what Ubisoft should have done, and this would have made it interesting and fit in with the Assassin's Creed theme, is have Yatsuke be a retainer of the shogun that is involved in this story, whatever it is. And you actually interact with him and maybe get missions from him. Like get to missions for or against the shogun, what have you. Have him be like what they did with George Washington and Ben Franklin in Assassin's Creed 3. Have him be a historical figure that you interact with and engage with, so you feel like you are a part of history. Why not do that? I don't have any problem with the female character, of course. No one does. Johnny, no one does. Asians are now treated as white people. Yes, and you know what? And I've seen tweets. I've watched videos kind of like Reb's. I don't know if Reb actually put this in his video. People are actually saying Asian people are white adjacent. They are actually making that equation. They are actually equating Asian people as being white adjacent. So they're turning. So you've got these activists that are turning Asian people white, basically. Didn't someone write an article literally titled "Enough Asian Representation, Time for Blood"? Johnny, I don't know. I hadn't heard anything about that, so I don't know. That I would not be surprised in the slightest if someone did write that article. I would not be surprised in the slightest, because again, we're working in extremes. Working in extremes again, and there's this huge swath of middle ground that no one's even touching. And there's a whole lot of creativity and intellect and interesting things in this huge swath of middle ground that no one's even touching.
Tsushima inspired. This is everything we wanted. Well, if you want to play a game like that, then just go play Ghost of Tsushima. Like, what do you mean?
Unless you live in a country that PlayStation doesn't support. Because unless you live in a country where you can actually possess a PlayStation account, you can't purchase Ghost of Tsushima. Kind of like you can't purchase Helldivers 2. Sony has locked countries that they are not supporting out of purchasing a game, even if it's on PC. So, yeah, you go play Ghost of Tsushima, so long as you're in a country that Sony supports.
But on top of that, people are making fun of the choice of music in the background. It seems like to some people that this is Japanese music.
I don't know if he's gonna play it. I saw the clip of this. It's fucking hysterical.
Run through some sort of a rap filter, and a lot of people are saying how ironic and ridiculous
I hope he plays
that is. But anyways, let's move on to the next game.
Okay, when registered is on, I will try and find the footage. Yeah, the musical score that's played when Satsuki is fighting is like ancient Japanese music blended with rap or hip hop. I'll find it once this is done.
Game Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, for those who don't know, this game was a massive, massive flop, losing Warner Bros. Over $200 million. And on top of that, I mean, it's just kind of like you reap what you sow. I mean, in the game itself, spoiler alert, they kill Batman. And then the game dies off and does horribly. It just seems poetic at this point. But moving on, Jason Schreier here, a reporter at Bloomberg, would have some things to say about this game. Beginning with this article where he acknowledges behind Suicide Squad, the year's biggest video game flop. But apparently this must have upset at least Jason Schreier here because he's seeing people he doesn't like supporting and sharing this article that shows Suicide Squad's failure. And on top of that, we would get more stories coming out of Rocksteady where this tweet here caption says, according to sources interviewed by Jason Schreier, Rocksteady Studios is currently planning to pitch a new single-player game, bringing the studio back to its roots.
And I've also been hearing that Rocksteady may get shut down, or that they're slashing their staff by half. Rocksteady currently has 250 employees, and I think they're talking about cutting it down to 125. Rocksteady is in deep shit right now. They lost the company $200 million with Suicide Squad. So they are in deep shit.
The coping is beginning. They're like, whoa. I called it a failure, but don't be mad at me and don't let the gamer chuds feel like they won here. So then he would make another article following that up saying this, that Sweet Baby Inc.'s boycott that people say had something to do with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League sales is just a bunch of angry hallucinations created by grifters. That any sort of connection between Sweet Baby Inc. has nothing to do with the success or the failure of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is just a crazy hallucination made by grifters online. When in reality, that's...
Again, if your opinion does not match that of the activists, you are XYZ slur. It couldn't possibly be because your product was a shit product. And, this is the everybody gets a trophy mentality. These companies, how dare you criticize us? How dare you say we made a bad product and we've lost millions of dollars because we made a shit product? You must consume. You must consume and look forward to next product to consume. And people aren't buying it, and people are not willing to spend $70 or here in, yes, correct, Kiji. Sweet Baby Inc. is the diversity consultant organization that worked on, they're the ones that they've worked on several games, and someone on Steam actually created a Steam group curating all of the games that Sweet Baby Inc. Worked on. Just basically put a list. These are the games that Sweet Baby Inc. had a hand in. And that's it. Didn't say if the games were good, didn't say if the games were bad, just said these are all the games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on, and that person was getting death threats by these activists for doing that. So, who is the unhinged one here? Who's the one that's hallucinating here? I don't think it's the... I don't think this word thinks it means what they think it means. So yeah.
Exactly what happened. It's a Sweet Baby Inc. product, and it failed. And people knowing that it was a Sweet Baby Inc. product definitely impacted its sales and is a part of the reason why it did so poorly. And on top of that, Jason would go on to Twitter and say this: as we look at the video game industry's layoffs, burnout, abusive microtransactions, prioritization of short-term profits, risk aversion, rapidly increasing budgets, endless development cycles, and studio closures, it's important to highlight the real problem. Too much diversity, of course, trying to mock people who are tired of DEI initiatives and companies like Sweet Baby Inc. And on top of that, when people started pointing this out and criticizing him, he would go on a blocking spree, including blocking people by proxy. Even if you're following someone that said something negative or criticized him, you're getting a block too, which is really funny. And of course, a lot of people have been pointing.
And that just means that if someone actually challenges them on their statements, they have absolutely no means of supporting their statements. They're just working off of the activist ideology where they're working off pure emotion with no facts or logical thought processes behind it to support it. So, very similar to those people that are dogmatically saying that Acolyte is the best thing since sliced bread, and the people that are also dogmatically saying this is the end of Star Wars, they've done this, that, they flat out destroy the concept of Force, etc. Neither of these two groups are taking a logical approach, much like I did at the beginning of the stream. It was bad, but the problems were not these wild things that people have been saying. They're not looking at it logically. They're just working off of pure emotion, and that's it. And when you work off of pure emotion and you leave logic at the door, it's when you're going to get everything wrong. Pure emotion and logic cannot work independently of one another and be successful. You have to have a healthy mixture of both.
Out some other articles that Jason has made, like this one saying, game developers really need to stop letting teenage boys design their characters. And of course, showing an attractive anime girl. Oh, of course, every single time. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. More time laughing at game journalists because they're really going wild out there and now even challenging people to fights in real life. Who could have saw that coming? But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Rev. Wonderful as always.